Number 3, business, trading. We signed all the agreements. It's ready with the trader, with the world trade, with everything. It's done. It's done. Finished. It's all done. And I can take any one of you says no, it's not done.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your huckleberry.
Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Oh yeah, you guys sent me a video of Nadar, and I was just listening to Nadar. I dig Nadar, he's cool. I like to give him crap from time to time, I'm just teasing him. But then all of a sudden I'm sitting and listening to him, he goes, I'm telling you all the paperwork I signed. And you can hear him reluctantly, but at the same time wanting to get this out. And that is, he almost said, I'm willing to debate or take on anybody who questions what he's saying. But he did it kind of half-assed, and I started laughing. It was like he was reluctant to let that go. But he must have known that eventually I'd get wind of it, and I'd have to respond to it. I'm not responding because I'm being a jerk to Nadar. The funny thing is I actually like him. The whole time, I must have spent at least an hour trying to figure out what restaurant he was at with that stupid logo behind him, just so I could call him up and give him shit. But, you know. Anyways, Nadar, let me respond to what you're saying about all the paperwork done and the World Trade Organization done and stability there in Iraq. I love it, but I must respond. Before we get started, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. You can follow me over on other platforms. I do have my own group over on Facebook called Pimpy's Investment Chat. Over here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. So head on over here and join us. It's free to do so. In here, I do post updates. If I should get on suspension from YouTube or get removed from YouTube and you want to know what happened to me, I'll let you know right here in this group. I can be found on Twitter, MeWe, YouTube, and the cool thing about YouTube, if you come over here and you join and you find my channel, I got videos going back, I believe, a couple years. So if you want to see some older videos that I have on Nasera, Jacera, gold, silver, cryptos, come on over here and join. Look me up and check out my videos. You can also find me on Odyssey, catch me on Rumble. When I say that the links for all these are down below in the description, some of you don't know what I'm talking about. It's real simple. Just go down to the bottom right here of any of my videos. See this? This is the description. Hit show more. And there are all the links to all the platforms I just spoke about. All right, first things first. Is Iraq done with all their paperwork? Are they fully ascended into the World Trade Organization? You know, it's not very hard to do. You can go over to the World Trade Organization website. For those of you who are not familiar with this, and over here, you can look up and find out what the status is for Iraq. Click here. So let's find out. Drum roll, please. Are they done? Click here for a bigger image. There's a lot of progress they need to make before they are completely finished with becoming a member. You can see right here, July 19, 2023, the Working Party on the accession of Iraq, membership in terms and references. So they appear to be submitting all the necessary paperwork in order to ascend through the World Trade Organization. So you see, Iraq is part of the observer government. They're not a member yet. And although they submitted some kind of paperwork that happened on July 19, 2023, we are waiting for at least the announcement of their next level, next step, or where they currently sit. But all you have to do is go to the World Trade Organization, just put in Iraq, and you can see the map of where they currently stand. Nadar could be right as far as all the current documentation that need to be submitted, because it says right there on July of 2023 that they have submitted the documentation for membership. So hopefully it's all done. I try to pull it up. Before, you used to be able to do that, but not anymore. You can see it says restricted. So what's going on with Iraq? Over here, we see Iraq's oil reserves has risen to 6 billion barrels. Yikes, that's a huge chunk of barrels, considering sometimes they only send certain countries about 100,000 barrels per day. So 6 billion is sitting pretty good for Iraq. You can come down here and see where it says, in his speech during the activities of the first Iraq conference, and exhibition for oil projects in the capital of Baghdad, according to the Iraqi news. Ghani confirmed that the Iraq government directed the concentration of oil investments in the western and central regions, pointing out that the ministry has made many achievements within 1 year, where a contract was signed to develop the Erdo field with the production capacity of 250,000 barrels per day, and the completion and operation of the Karbala strategic refinery with the capacity of 140,000 barrels per day. So they're sitting pretty good. The oil obviously is their main source of income. They do need to diversify, but it's good to see that as far as oil is concerned, Iraq still has that to fall back on. But they definitely need to get away from relying so much on the Iraqi oil for their budget money. Parliament Finance hosts the government team tasked with negotiating with the region to follow up the implementation of the budget law. So still dealing with the budget, as you guys can currently see. It says right here, the Finance Committee, headed by the MPs and the presence of its members, hosted today, Monday, the government team tasked with communicating with representatives of the Kurdistan Regional Government on following up the implementation of the articles related to the region in the federal budget law of 2023. So this group is meeting with how to implement the budget laws for Kurdistan. It says urgent in the video, Al-Sudini, a recent cabinet reshuffle preceded by the change of 15 agents and advisors. Well, he announced he was going to do this. God, it had been about a month ago. So it looks like he's finally doing this. I think he wanted to wait till after the celebration of the 40th. So Prime Minister Al-Sudini, we will announce the change of 15 agents and advisors in all ministries during this week, according to the minister's assessment. The ministerial change is coming, and its delay is due to the delay in the financial budget, and the evaluation is coming. And certainly there is a ministerial amendment soon. So today we are facing a global crisis on the issue of water scarcity facing Iraq and the region due to climate change. Oh, I love how they say this all the time. That's not what it is. I keep telling you guys, it's because of these people right here. And as a matter of fact, they admit it down here. Iraq has suffered greatly because of water and solutions on the file now, not strategical. This summer is the harshest season in the history of Iraq state. Water resources for the first time recorded numbers with the decrease from the water reserve saved. The Iranian side had big launches in the Kucoin River. We were able to double water releases from Turkey 20 days before the 40th visit. So wait a minute, if you're having problems with climate, how is it that these two countries were able to just wave a wand that they pulled out their butt and presto, you got a lot of water? That's because there is no climate crisis. Here we go again. We got, Iraq, Syria, Turkey's new spelled name. I love how they changed it. And Iran. And we zoom on down here. Let's go to the Tigris River first. If you come down here to the Tigris River, it is actually flowing pretty decent. Could it use a little bit more water? Of course, but remember, we are at the end of summer going into fall. If the river is this high now, I can only imagine what's going to happen once it starts raining. So Tigris is looking pretty decent. I would imagine when the water is at its maximum level, this should be covered. But again, we are at the end of summer. Isn't this weird? The blood coast. Doesn't it look like it's bleeding? You know what's weird is when you go down closer to some of these things and you start looking down here, running around in their desert, there is all kinds of crap, man, that you'll run into. You're like, what is this? There's like a lot of ancient ruins that are here. This is the blood coast. You can see why it's called that. So yeah, here is the blood coast, but let's keep going up so we can get to the Euphrates River. Oh, here we go. Now let's take a look at some. The Euphrates River is pretty full right now. The last time we saw it, it was a dry bed with tiny creeks running through it. So in a few days of getting water from Turkey, presto, the river's pretty full. Like it's stated up here, we were able to double water releases from Turkey 20 days before the 40th visit. 20 days. It took them 20 days to fill that river up. And it didn't say, well, climate change magically changed and our rivers got filled up. No. What it says is Turkey released water. It says, we will present a plan for strategical radical solutions to address the water profile in all its aspects. We need an optimal investment for water, and there is a deficit in its management. A deficit in its management, not a deficit from the climate. And recent U.S. moves were in operation to replace forces in Syria for another brigade. A movement that is in the bases in Iraq, which includes advisors. All of them are subject to the approval of the Iraqi government. There is no movement of existing forces without the knowledge of the Iraqi government. Well, I don't believe that. The visit of the security delegations to Washington was very successful. We got important information about the locations of ISIS leaders in Iraq, and it was targeted. Our philosophy is to hit ISIS and not to wait and argue with it anywhere. We targeted the ISIS command center in Anbar Desert. Iraq doesn't need any foreign combat troops. They openly declared it. We are part of any international efforts to fight ISIS. That'll always be their excuse to have to go into Iraq. Now, this is a biggie. I spoke about this before. It says we will not agree to the rail link with any country to transport goods without the completion of the Fall Port project, the development route, and my fixed position. The Iraqi state is serious about putting the development road and the Fall Port projects into practice. They were already working on the Fall Port. Rail links with Iran is for passenger transport. The Minister of Transport discusses in Saudi Arabia the file for the railway link to transport Iraqi passengers and pilgrims. The Great Corridor and the Silk Road projects have no corridor inside Iraq. And the Silk Road projects have no corridor inside Iraq. Not yet, but they have signed paperwork and agreed on this. The development path is the best, shortest, and least expensive transportation and transit, and it was created by Iraq. There has been no seriousness in implementing the Fall Port project for the past years, and today we are part of the economic corridors of the world. Yeah, once they open up the Fall Ports and start working on that, that's a really good thing for Iraq and Saudi Arabia, obviously. We established industrial cities along the path of development. The industrials of Master Blanc and the Fall Port project is the largest industrial city in the Middle East. So the development road and the Fall Port are their two biggest projects that they got going on over there. So it says the Fall Port project will be completed in 2025. I'm really excited, you guys, about the future for Iraq. And I know you guys probably been hearing this crap over and over from all the people that's been blowing smoke up your butthole. But I'm sorry, that's not me. But the fact that, we see these fall projects not small. And they're going to put a huge development road out there. And all that's for is cargo transportations in and out of Iraq, which they need. I see an economical boom in the future for Iraq. And I know you guys are like, when is this, Pimpy? I told you guys, it's going to be sometime around 2025. But that doesn't mean that the Iraqi dinar isn't going to go up. It's just not going to happen overnight like the people keep lying to you about. It's going to go up in increments, just like I had announced a long time ago. So we'll continue to watch it. There's a lot of changes taking place in there. As long as they stay on a straight and narrow, like I said, they always take one step forward and 10 steps back. Let's hope they stop that and get rocking and rolling. Anyways, that's it for now. You guys let me know what you think. I look forward to hearing from you. I am out.